This conference will now be recorded.
It is my privilege to call to order this evening the Board of Zoning Appeals regular meeting beginning today, February the 3rd, Monday at 5 p.m. 5:01 actually. Marie, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Schroeder.
Here.
Mr. Levine.
Here.
Mr. Oswald.
Here.
Mr. Mallon.
Here. Did everybody have an opportunity to review the minutes from January the 6th meeting?
I did. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Thank you. Marie, can you call the roll?
Mr. Schroeder.
Abstain.
Mr. Levine.
Yes.
Mr. Oswald.
Yes.
Mr. Mallon.
Yes.
Thank you. Since this is a formal hearing, swearing in of individuals is required if you plan on speaking this evening. So if anybody is planning on speaking, is anybody planning on speaking? All right. If you could please stand.
Yeah, come on.
It'd be nice. Put a little effort into it.
Recognize him.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge? Thank you.
Spin around.
So we don't have any old business this evening. Since we don't have any old business, we'll move right into new business. Tonight we have two items of new business. The first, which is agenda item number 4, is an exception for the sidewalk requirement for the property located at 3203 Fairbanks Avenue, parcel number 78-47681. Parcel 78-47677 and parcel 78-47674, referencing the zoning, Savannah Township Zoning Resolution Section 1106-C3. Daryl, may I please have the staff report?
The subject property at 3203 Fairbanks Avenue consists of 3 parcels collectively measuring nearly a half acre on the west side of Fairbanks in the Central Avenue Park subdivision. The entire subject parcel is zoned C2 General Commercial. Single-family dwellings zoned RA low-density residential, and within the Central Avenue Park subdivision abut the subject property to the north, east, and west. An automobile dealership owned by the applicant is zoned C2 General Commercial into the immediate south of the subject parcels. The applicant acquired the subject parcels in 2023 and had them rezoned from RA low-density residential to C2 General Commercial with the intent of redeveloping the property as a parking lot. A 1,002 square foot single-family dwelling constructed in 1934 was recently demolished and the applicant went through the project plan review process in 2024. Per section 1106 of the Savannah Township Zoning Resolution, the development and redevelopment of properties within the township shall require the installation of public pedestrian access on all sides of the property that abut a highway, street, or roadway. Section 1106C allows for an exception to the sidewalk requirement from the Board of Zoning Appeals under certain circumstances. The applicant is seeking such an exception pursuant to section 1106C3, which states, the properties adjacent to the property seeking an exception do not have sidewalks on the side where the exception is being sought. If sidewalks are constructed on either adjacent property, the exception is revoked and sidewalks must be constructed within 180 days. Zoning staff recommends approval of the request for an exception to the sidewalk requirement for the property located at 3203 Fairbanks Avenue for the following 3 reasons. 1, approval of this exception should not present a negative impact upon the public good or neighboring properties or impair the visibility and/or safety of the traveling public. 2, approval of this exception should not alter the intent of the Savannah Township zoning resolution. And 3, the exception is revoked upon the construction of sidewalks on either side of the subject parcel. An applicant shall install a sidewalk within 180 days.
Thank you, Daryl. Does the board have any questions for Daryl?
No.
Okay. Would anybody like to speak on behalf of this matter? Sir, if you could please state your name and address for the record and then sign in on the sheet that's in front of you.
Don Feller with Feller Pitch and Associates, 1683 Woodlands Drive, Walnut Ave.
Thank you.
I would just say that there are no sidewalks on Fairbanks Ave. In fact, there's no sidewalks on any of the streets in the area. So with that, we agree with the staff recommendation.
Okay.
And you discussed the need to put one in if for whatever reason the neighbors decide to put one in?
Yep.
Okay, just want to make sure
Oh, yeah.
everyone's on board.
Not too concerned about it. But
I figured.
Any questions for the applicant?
no.
Would anybody else like to speak for or against this matter? Daryl, did we receive any comments from neighbors or any feedback at all? Okay, thank you. Would anybody on the board like a deliberative session to discuss?
No, thanks.
No, I'll propose a motion to approve exception for the sidewalk required for the property located at 3203 Fairbanks Avenue, parcel number 78-47681, 78-47677, parcel number 78-47674, Savina Township zoning resolution section 1106-C3.
I'll second. Marie, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Schlechter?
Yes.
Mr. Lubin?
Yes.
Mr. Osterhoff?
Yes.
Mr. Mallon?
Yes. Well, with that, the motion has passed. You will get something formally in writing here soon, but you're good to go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good seeing you.
You too.
The next item we have on our agenda this evening, item number 5, is an exception for an addition to a legal non-conforming dwelling for the property located at 3332 Zone Ave, parcel number 78-68871, Savina Township zoning resolution section 1703. Daryl, can I please have the staff report?
The subject property at 3332 Zone Avenue consists of a .29 acre parcel on the northeast corner of Zone and Kelker Street in the Zone and Kelker platted subdivision. A 1,330 square foot single family dwelling constructed in 1952 is sited on the approximate center of the lot. The parcel is zoned RA low density residential. Single-family dwellings abut on all sides. Like the subject parcel, those to the north, south, and west are zoned RA and are within the zone of health subdivision. Those to the east are zoned R2 medium density residential and are in the Indian Oaks platted subdivision. The existing dwelling on the subject parcel meets the current building setbacks prescribed in section 700 of the Savina Township zoning resolution, save one. As a corner lot, the parcel has 2 frontages. The front setback from zone meets the 30-foot setback requirement, but the front setback from Kelker is non-compliant. The zone of health plat was recorded in 1924 and the subject dwelling constructed in 1952. As these were prior to the enactment of zoning in Savina Township in 1956, the property is considered a legal, non-conforming lot of record. The applicant desires to construct an addition for a garage onto the existing dwelling, as well as enlarging the front porch. Section 1703 of the zoning resolution requires that a non-conforming building or structure shall not be enlarged, extended, altered, or moved without approval by the Board of Zoning Appeals. Thus, the applicant is requesting the BZA approve an exception to a non-conforming building. The locations of the proposed garage and porch comply with the current setback requirements of the zoning resolution, and no variances are requested or needed. Zoning staff recommends approval of the exception request for an addition to a legal non-conforming dwelling for the property located at 3332 Zone Avenue for the following 2 reasons. 1, approval of this exception should not present a negative impact on the public good or neighboring properties, or impair the visibility or safety of the traveling public. 2, approval of this exception should not alter the intent of the Savina Township zoning resolution.
Thank you, Daryl. Any questions from or for Daryl from the board? Thank you. Would anybody like to speak on behalf of this matter? You don't have to.
I think it's
Okay, thank you. Any questions for anybody else?
Any written comment or anything from any neighbors or? Okay.
Would anybody like to entertain a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve an exception for an addition to a legal non-conforming dwelling for the property located at 3332 Zone Avenue, parcel number 78-68871, Sylvania Township zoning resolution, section 1703.
Second.
Marie, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Schlechter.
Yes.
Mr. Levine.
Yes.
Mr. Elton.
Yes.
Mr. Beck.
Yes.
With that, your motion has been approved, and you will get something again formally in writing, but you are approved to go forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Since we don't have any additional business,
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
second. Marie, can you call the roll?
Mr. Schlechter.
Yes.
Mr. Levine.
Yes.
Mr. Elton.
Yes.
Mr. Beck.
Yes.
And that will end our meeting at 5:12.